University of Washington Marching Band at the Football Classic of 1961, the world-famous Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. But before we share this very special day with the band, let's go back a few days to their first rehearsal in sunny Southern California. Here on a practice field at Long Beach State College, Majorette Kenlyn Williams, Drum Major Bob Flanaugh, and the 125 bandsmen, under the direction of Bill Cole and Phil Ager, worked many long hours in the preparation of a show which will be viewed by 100,000 fans in person and 80 million via national television. The show must be worked out, from the traditional Big W show opener to the closing bow. Each bandsman must know his part perfectly for the big day in order to give a polished performance. Hours practice can be hard on the lips, so many of the routines are practiced without instruments. Century 21 served as theme for this year's band show. Here we see the rough prop which will ultimately depict the silver-sided monorail, one of the expected highlights of the coming Century 21 exhibition. Other props can also be problems, so extra work is necessary to coordinate their use in the show. With the first morning's rehearsal completed to the satisfaction of Cole and Ager, the band takes a break for lunch. It's difficult to resist the 75-degree temperature, so the patio outside the cafeteria becomes a favorite meal spot for the bandsmen and a feathered friend. Land of the Pacific, located just west of Long Beach, is one of the first attractions visited by the band. Here they offer a concert in exchange for an all-star show performed by these talented California sea lions. One of the performers thanks the band for its very kind attention and sends them on to visit the whale and dolphin show. And Bubbles the whale, star performer of the show, waves a fond goodbye as the sun sinks over the blue Pacific and the bandsmen end their first tiring but exciting day in California. Modern dormitories at Long Beach State College seem deserted early the morning of the second day. The band has already reported bright and early to the practice field. Well, maybe early, but not so bright. Phil Ager gets things going right on time, and the second day of rehearsal starts off with a bang. Street marching must also be practiced for the big parade. Although they start off looking a little ragged, things soon shape up to the approval of two rather critical spectators. Uh-oh, looks like a trumpet player who seems to have lost count for a minute. Now off to Disneyland for an afternoon of work and fun. Here the band, led by Majorette Kenlyn Williams and Drum Major Bob Flanaugh, marched down Main Street, USA, past the now famous Disneyland landmarks. Close on their heels comes Walt Disney's special Christmas Parade of the Toys. And who could mistake these 7 little characters? And to finish off the parade comes the Toy Soldiers Band. The Husky Band does a turn around the square and heads back to Town Hall for a short concert. Here we see Bill Cole leading a rousing chorus of Everything's Coming Up Roses. Now with the job done, the band heads off in search of fun and entertainment. Disney's beautifully perfect scale model of an old Western locomotive heading into the sunset, and a good meal from Plantation House under their belts, the day ends for the tired but still enthusiastic bandsmen. Sunday morning, the last day to rehearse. Although they don't show it, each individual bandsman feels the pressure of tomorrow's gigantic performance on his shoulder. The drum section takes time to work out a sticky part during one of the infrequent rest breaks. The last rehearsal, the last opportunity to achieve perfection. Bill Cole gives some help to the trombones, over and over until the difficulties exist no more. The pause that refreshes, and then back at it again. King Chinook, Husky mascot, looks on approvingly. Now it's give your all, for this is the last rehearsal. The last chance to iron out the little things. Now nothing remains but the performance. Butterflies? No, not really. But a short pep talk makes all concerned feel a little more confident and a little more relaxed. And now the equipment. The conductor's tower, the sound equipment. All are put away for the last time. All that remains now is the pep rally in downtown Long Beach. The fans are gathering in Oceanside Park to send the Huskies off to victory California style. The Husky Band takes to the road again to add its spirit and enthusiasm to the rally. Coach Jim Owens, Washington's man of the hour, adds a few special words. The team is spurred on by the band, the cheering of thousands of Husky rooters, and several vivacious beauty queens from the state of Washington. And now Owens assures all present that the Huskies are here to win. And now the big day has arrived. The 72nd annual Tournament of Roses parade has begun, led by the official Tournament of Roses band directed by Robert Fleury. From Paul Bunyan country, the 130-piece University of Minnesota Marching Band, under the baton of Drum Major Bill Johnson, steps out in grand fashion. The band is directed by Frank Ben Criscudo. And from the land of the really tall timber, our own University of Washington Marching Band. Although they almost missed the parade due to a freeway accident, which necessitated a back road trip from Long Beach to Pasadena, they step off in smart style. The long hours of rehearsal have paid off. They begin the 5.5-mile march with confidence. Before it ends, they will have passed in review before over 1 million parade spectators lining world-famous Colorado Boulevard, route of the Rose Parade. Let's watch now as our cameras and sound equipment catch some of the spectacular highlights of the Rose Parade. 5.5 miles and 260 tired feet later, the Gopher Band reaches the end of the parade. Relax and take a breather is the order of the day at this point. Inspired by an audience of fellow bandsmen, the Husky Band pours on the steam for the last few hundred yards, much to the amazement of Gopher Band members. Box lunches and a cool drink are the compensations for a job well done on both sides. There's also the first opportunity for U of W bandsmen to get acquainted with the men from Minnesota. Now band after band arrives. Before leaving for the stadium, our camera catches a few last shots of the unbelievably beautiful floats in the parade. The world-famous Rose Bowl, and now the second half of a very busy day begins. Bill Cole, a Midwesterner himself, and Frank Ben Criscudo swapped jokes and introductions, much to the pleasure of both bands. Into the stadium now for the serious business of the pregame show. The fans ride... Gopher fans greet their own band's pregame with a real Midwestern enthusiasm. Following the Star-Spangled Banner, directed by Bill Cole, the Minnesota bandsmen moved to their side of the field to add voice to the Gopher cheering section. Coach Owen's prophetic remarks at yesterday's pep rally seemed to be coming true as the inspired Huskies piled up a sizable lead in the first half. The second half found the not-so-golden Gophers rallying enough to score one lone touchdown. The Huskies were not to be denied, though, as the final 17-7 score indicated. But wait, we're getting ahead of our story. As the Huskies returned to their dressing rooms at the half, the Gopher Band was ready to present its performance. A pictorial presentation of the state of Minnesota was the theme of their show. Even an authentic Indian dance was included, with a mighty attractive Indian chief doing the honors. The Block M, traditional sign-off of the Gopher Band, signified the end of their show. Now the time had come for the 125 bandsmen of the University of Washington to strut their stuff.